Okay, so welcome to H2O-Incorporated.com, where today I want to present to you the newer version of the Astropoly for 2024-2025. And the difference with the previous one with the compass is this one has the years added to it, which makes it easier to find Jupiter relative to the year of birth of the player for the Chinese zodiac. And because of the difference of color between black and white and color, you can track back also if you want to play Astropoly history, 300 years or 600 years increments instead of just 12 as they're written here. So this one wheel goes back 2,500 years. So to play the Astropoly, you're gonna need dice from a place called Cultura, which is where I found them in France with my brother. And I picked colors that go with the elements, so yellow and red for fire, light blue and a little bit darker for air. They come also in green and brown for earth, as well as dark blue and gray for water. To keep it simple, I thought I'd demonstrate for you the 3 simple rules of the Astropoly game just to learn the correspondence of letters to numbers, which differ from the Greek zodiac to the Roman zodiac, because the Greek zodiac is 24 letters, so the placement of letters like H, for example, is going to fall in the 7th place, whereas on the Roman zodiac, the H will fall in the 8th place. So things to know. And so the rules are quite simple actually. It's played with the same algorithm of Thales intercept, which is pi or 90 degrees, or pi or 180 degrees, or pi over 2 is 90 degrees, 3 pi over 2 is 270 degrees, and 2 pi's is 360 degrees, a full circle. We're going to play with pi, which is the exact opposite diameter. Okay, so whatever your sign is, you can play all the letters you want on that sign. In my case, I am an Aquarius. So I will play with my sun placement first, Aquarius. That's the first rule, and you count the points all the way to 10, whoever wins, okay? Then the second rule is you play with your Chinese zodiac, which for me is going to be Jupiter was the last week of Aries, so I can play in Aries. Even though 1976 was year of the dragon Jupiter in Taurus, on my chart, because I was born where the year changes, Jupiter is in the last week of Taurus. So there, and then the last so first you play with the sun, second you play with the Jupiter axis, and third you play with your co-ruling planet. So for me, for example, I'm an Aquarius. So my co-ruler is the ruler of the opposite sign, which is Leo, and that is the sun. So given that I'm paired with that sign, for me the sun is the same as my co-ruler. So I can play with the same thing, or I can play with the position of my ruler, which governs Aquarius, and that is Uranus. And Uranus, when I was born, was in Scorpio, which incidentally gives me the same sets of letters because of the perpendicularity. Okay? So let's start with the beginning. How do we play in the beginning? Well, there are 3 different dices, okay? One of them has 6 sides, which is the one we're going to begin with. Another one with 12 sides, and another one with 20 sides. And this is to facilitate reaching letters like Y, which is 20, or Z, which is 26. So what we do to keep it even is we throw the 6-sided dice first. On this one it's a 4. Then it would be, so that would be my friends or my brother pulling a 4. They're both Leos, and fire sign. And I pull a 1. So number 4 begins. I take all 3 dice and I roll them up. I got a 4, a 1, and a 9. That is not on my sun on the sun axis of neither one. So now I'm going to play for Aquarius. and I get a 5, a 4, and a 5. So I know that the 5 is E, epsilon, and that's the 5th house of Leo. That's on my axis, I can play that. The 4 is only here for where I have Jupiter, and I have another 5, which is another value of epsilon, which I can play here in the Greek zodiac, that the Greek wheel that is on the inside. So this way I have 2 5s that are placed, and since I placed, I can keep rolling to see if I can place the last dice. It's a 3, so it's not good. It's turn to the fire sign to play. They have a 5, which is across from their sign, so they can place that. They have a 10, they cannot play that, and a 1. Because they placed the 5, they can re-roll again, and that gives a 20, and the 3 is a little bit crooked. Let me re-roll that for them. That gives another 5, so they can also play that other 5 here, which keeps it very tight, and that 20 is a T, which goes over here. So the fire sign just won this round, right? And so you write down 1 point for the fire sign, and nothing for the air sign. Then you start all over again with the same 6-sided dice to keep it always even. Not that the one who wins always gets to throw all the time, otherwise it makes it uneven. We tried it over in France with my brother, and that's what we found out. Both of those are 3, so you get to throw them again. Each player throws theirs. The fire sign pulled out a 6, the air sign a 3, so the fire sign gets to start. And the fire sign pulls out a 5, another 5, and a 13, which is not here. It can be found through addition, but that's another wheel and a different ball game. And here I get a 2 when the fire sign throws again, because they placed the thing. The 2 is actually the letter B, which is in Aquarius, so we are still on this axis value, okay? I think you get the hang of it. So that's 2 points for the fire sign, and none for the air sign, and you didn't even get a chance to play. When you get to 10, then you move this to wherever your Jupiter position is. For example, my best friend who actually helped me put this together has her Jupiter, like my mom, over in Pisces. So she would be playing here, and she's a fire sign, so she would be throwing her 3 with her fire dice, and the 3 is indeed the house of Tiger, so boom. Although technically we're just beginning the party, so we're throwing a 5. I mean, the air sign throw the 5, she throws the 3, and then after that she would have to throw to find what she has, which is a 2. Those are in Aquarius. But anyway, it's the same as the I don't want to make this video too long, so I'll stop here because otherwise it'll get complicated. But ultimately, it's Jupiter is going to be the same as what I just played, and then you repeat the process with wherever your co-ruling planet is. In the case of Leo, the co-ruler is Uranus. So voila. I hope you get to enjoy playing this. You can play it on WhatsApp with friends anywhere in the world, anytime. And when you start playing it often, like me and my brother, eventually you memorize the letters, and you can just be on the phone and throw the dice and say, hey, I've pulled out a 5 or this or that. Okay, well, you know. So anyway, have a wonderful summer. Happy birthdays to all the Leos. And thank you to my best friend for guiding me through this, being my guiding light and best muse and most authentic friend I could ever have.